Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to United Brothers Synagogue. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts and joy and minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. How good and how pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together. Please join me in Hine Matov, found on page 128. We're using the pages that are found in the brackets. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim 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 shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, lai la lai, lai la lai la lai la lai. Hine matov, lai la lai, lai la lai la lai la lai. Hine matov u'manayim, lai 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 lai. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. We turn to page 120 and 121 for our candle lighting. And I would like to ask for a volunteer to come up and light the candles. And I think we have someone who's celebrating a special day. I think it was like the 9th or something like that, right? So how did you know it was you?
My birthday was the 9th.
Your birthday was the 9th. Come on up. We're on page 121 at the top of the page as these candles.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As our brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Page 124. We read responsively at the bottom. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. Kabbalat Shabbat consists of 6 psalms that mirror the first 6 days of creation. We'll begin with Lechu Neranana, Psalm 95 on page 130, and then we'll go directly into Psalm 99, Ramamu, on page 135. Please sing along with me. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria, l'tzor ishenu nikadma panav b'todah. Naria, naria, l'tzor ishenu bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Let me hear it. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ramemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Ramemu. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. And on page 138, this beginning portion of our service ends with Lecha Dodi, a poem composed by the 16th century Kabbalist Shlomo Halevi Alkabetz. And we will be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And the tradition is when we get to verse 9, we rise and we greet the Shabbat bride as she comes to join me on the bima and as she walks in our sanctuary. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem ultitiferet l'tilah. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. לקראת שבת לכוון אלך, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה מחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5, התעוררי, כי באורך ומי אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. It's so nice to hear your voice, and it's so nice to see some faces that haven't been here in a while. Welcome back. Shabbat Shalom to everybody. On page 203, in the time of rising anti-Semitism, it's important to remember and maintain our sense of Jewish pride. Let's read responsibly a list of reasons why we are proud to be Jews, and you're going to see why when I give my little sermon later on, that this is really, really important today especially. I am a Jew because the faith of Israel depends no abdication of my mind. I am a Jew because in every place suffering weeps, the Jew weeps. I am a Jew because the word of Israel is the oldest and the newest. I am a Jew because for Israel the world is not completed. We are completing it. I am a Jew because Israel places humanity and its unity above the nations and above Israel itself. And reading this, people may think that we're talking about the land of Israel. But we're not. In this prayer, we're talking about the people Israel. Am Yisrael Chai. Every Jew is called the children of Israel. So that's what we're talking about in this particular passage. On page 140, Mizmor Shir. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד לבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. Now page 142, Shalom Aleichem, our poem describing our two angels that follow us home from shul every Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the beginning part of our service is now complete as we sing and chant the Chatzi Kaddish, which separates the first part from the middle part. We find that on page 144, and we rise if we're able. And after the Chatzi Kaddish, I invite you to remain standing if you can until after the Shema. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach yutei v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon Uchaye kol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala, uvizman kariv, v'yemeru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mivarach, le'ala mulad me'al maya, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol b'rachshecha v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran b'yalma v'yemeru amen. Prayer is meant to heighten our sensitivity to all the experiences in life. The word bracha comes from the Hebrew word berech, which means knee, or to bend the knee. And bending the knee is the ancient Jewish way of showing respect and gratitude to God. And that's why we don't bow to anyone else but God. A bracha is a means which we give thanks and praise to God, remembering ourselves that life is a sacred opportunity. And the Baruch Hu is our ancient call to worship. On page 146, we chant the Baruch Hu. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 Lai 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 Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed Lai 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 Page 148, we read in the English. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et chakavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzivaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hamariv aravim. Ahavat Olam, page 150. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amecha Havta Amcha Havta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadita, Otanu lemadita. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shofenu, uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha, v'nizmach b'divrei toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 154. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha V'chol livavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al livavecha v'shinatam levavnecha v'dibarta ba'am בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם emet. On page 157 on the top, let us read together, standing on the parted shores of history, we believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it's eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Michamocha is found on page 158. Lai, 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 your turn. Lai, 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 Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha nedar ba'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Oseh Feleh, Nora tehilot, Oseh Feleh, Malchutecha ra'u banecha, Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, Ze Elianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar kifada Adonai et Yaakov uga'alom yachazak mimenu, Baruch Ata Adonai Ga'al, Baruch Ata Ga'al Yisrael. Out loud, lie, 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 lie. That was so great. You're getting better at that each time. So page 160 is the Hashkivenu. And it's the traditional prayer that we say at bedtime because it's asking God to watch over us. Because anything could happen at night. You know, we don't have control over what happens to us when the sun goes down, especially if you're wandering in the desert and you're in the pitch black in a dark tent, right? So we're going to sing Let There Be Love, Hashkivenu, and I'd like on the bottom of page 160, if somebody can read the English. Excellent. Thank you for volunteering.
No problem. Grant, O God, Then we lie down in peace, and rise us up, our guardian, to life in you. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people, Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Thank you. Let there be love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Again. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashivenu l'shalom. Again in the Hebrew. Hashivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashivenu l'shalom. In English.
Let there be love and understanding.
Oh, it's beautiful. Keep it up.
Let peace and friendship be our shelter.
Keep going. Hashivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashivenu l'shalom. One more time. Hashivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashivenu l'shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. That was great. So our proof text for Shabbat is found on page 162, Vishamru. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It's a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days God made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Thank you, Steve, for that. That was great. I love the cutoff. We rise for the central prayer in our worship service. The standing prayer, the Amidah, also known as Tefillah, the prayer. And tonight, I think we'll do something a little different. We're going to open the ark during this. Adonai Sfatai Titach. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips. Adonai, open up my lips, so that my mouth may declare your praise, so that my mouth shall declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Ge'ula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Yezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mikayem Eitim Atah Rav L'Choshia, Morid Hatal, Michalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Michayem Eitim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umkayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Mikamocha Ba'al Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lechayot metim. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hametim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, וקדושים בכל יום והלוך הסלע. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. I invite you to pray, have a conversation with God, using the words on the prayer book, on the page or in your own heart. When you get to page 175, you may be seated. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Ve'amecha Yisrael U'tefilatam be'ahava tikabel U'tehi Ratzon Tamid Avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha El Karov Lechol Korah Penei El Avadecha V'chaneinu Shefoch Ruchacha Aleinu V'techezena Eineinu B'shuvecha L'Tzion Birachamim Baruch atah Adonai Hamachazir Shechinato We come to the part of our service where we offer blessings and prayers for healing to people who in our community, family, friends, loved ones, who may need an extra blessing, may it be physical, emotional, spiritual. And on page 371, we find this prayer, Mishaberach. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. Mary Franklin, Jerry Franklin, Mitchell Gluck, Gabe Belsky Gluck, Bill Gluck, Ellen Gluck, Joan Sheff. If you have any other names to add to this list, I invite you to add them now.
Patrick Polino.
Rebecca Ackerman, Elizabeth Tice,
Alicia
May the Blessed One, holy be He, be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Any good news that we have today or this month?
Our first grandson is expected in November.
Mazel tov.
I had a granddaughter for my first on July 1st.
Mazel tov to you too. We're repopulating.
We're going to see our grandchildren in Switzerland.
In Switzerland. Excellent. That's a long trip.
We're going to see whale sharks in Mexico. Similar.
Not related,
Not related to that.
but we did have a wonderful trip, a visit with our grandson in South Carolina.
In South Carolina. Excellent. Beautiful. Well, I believe that this deserves a Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Also, there's some things that you may not have said that we should be thankful for. So if you had a birthday this month or last week, I invite you to stand. If you had an anniversary this month, or know somebody who had an anniversary this month, I invite you to stand. If you had a major life cycle event, or you know someone with a major life cycle event, I invite you to stand. If you experience something exciting or fun, I invite you to stand. And if you were just happy to get up this morning, I invite you to stand. I told you, by the end, I get everybody to stand. While you're standing, turn to somebody, wish them a Shabbat Shalom. And we turn to page 376 for the prayer for our holy congregation. So I have a volunteer who would like to read at the top of the page.
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us. Love of Torah, devotion and prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. Baruch atah Adonai, she'olcha levatcha v'yirah na'u.
Thank you. And the prayer for our country at the bottom of the page.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be of sound in body and spirit.
And if we all say, Amen. And you may be seated. Thank you. In 2022, the Anti-Defamation League surveyed a sample of over 4,000 Americans to better understand their attitudes towards Jews and Israel. Now, as a person who teaches science, I like numbers. My math-phobic students think I'm crazy, but I always like looking at statistics. And as we know, our sister synagogue, Agudas Achim in Taunton, experienced what must have felt like the biggest betrayal and slap in the face possible. I don't know how you feel about it, but I want an explanation. How can this happen in 2023? Didn't we learn anything from Nazi Germany? Why do people do what they do? The ADL has measured anti-Semitic attitudes among Americans since the early 1960s. And I want to share some of their recent findings that show several trends that are frightening. 85% of Americans believe at least one anti-Jewish trope, as opposed to 61% found in 2019. That means in a matter of 4 years, that percentage increased by 24%. 20% of Americans believe 6 or more tropes, which is significantly more than the 11% that they found in 2019, and it's the highest level measured in decades. Many Americans believe in Israel-oriented anti-Semitic positions, from 40% who at least slightly believe that Israel treats Palestinians like Nazis treated us, to 18% who are uncomfortable spending time with a person who supports Israel. Trope-focused and Israel-focused anti-Semitism appear to overlap significantly. There is nearly a 40% correlation between belief in anti-Jewish tropes and anti-Israel belief, meaning that a substantial number of people who believe in anti-Semitic tropes also have a negative attitude towards Israel. I'm going to read to you some of these tropes, and I want you to tell me the percentage of Americans that you think believe it. Okay, so here's the first one. Jews stick together more than other Americans. What do you think? It's a percentage, 0 to 100. 70%. Jews in business go out of their way to hire other Jews. That was only 53. Jews are more loyal to Israel than they are to America. What'd you say? 39%. Jews always like to be at the head of things.
90.
That's actually only 38. Only 38%. That was a surprise to me too. Jews have too much power in the business world. I thought so too, but it's actually only 26. So what we think is bad, some other people out there have different feelings about it. It's incredible. The ADL, in its book called Anti-Semitism Uncovered, A Guide to Old Myths in a New Era, they grouped these categories, all these tropes into different categories. And we have 7 of them. 1, Jews have too much power. 2, Jews are disloyal. Jews are greedy. Jews kill Jesus. Jews use Christian blood for religious rituals. The Holocaust didn't happen. And criticism of Israel is never anti-Semitic. And here's the most frightening of the statistics. All of those are believed by 3% of the population, which corresponds to about 8 million people. That's more than the number of Jews in this country. Another aspect of anti-Semitism that is relatively recent is anti-Zionist anti-Semitism. In 1913, The ADL's mission statement says that the mission of the organization is to stop the defamation of the Jewish people and secure justice and fair treatment for all. Well, in order to do that, it was felt that the Jewish people could only be safe when all people were safe. And only when all minorities would be free would the Jewish people be free. And how could we truly be free? We needed a land to call our home. A place where Jews could go and feel safe and be accepted. Now, mind you, this was 30 years before the Holocaust. And it's also important to remember that anti-Semitism is just not the violent outbursts that we hear about on the news. It occurs in much subtler ways, such as jokes, insensitive remarks, or negative stereotypes. So what can we do about it? Not just what can you do about it, or you, or you, or you, or me, but let's think more broadly. What can a collective we do about it? A group called Words to Action, Empowering Students to Address Anti-Semitism, published a list of 90 ways individuals and groups can respond to anti-Semitism. And if anybody's interested in seeing it, I printed it out right here. Number 1, speak out against anti-Semitic jokes and slurs. When we stay silent, we give the impression that it's okay. As a teacher, I can't tell you how many times I've had to stop a student from telling an offensive joke. Not just about Jews, but about any minority or underrepresented group. Educate yourself about the new anti-Semitism. Last week, I was in Orlando at the Representative Assembly of the National Education Association. And one of the resolutions that we were voting on had to do with educating students about anti-Semitism. It's prevalent in every state in the country. As a community, our synagogue can plan events that address anti-Semitism and invite other faiths to attend. Organize opportunities for meetings between lay members of different faiths to discuss anti-Semitism and the persecution of other groups. I like this one coming up. Conduct an interfaith trip to a Holocaust museum. I will tell you, this is a very effective method. A number of years ago, I took 50 students to the National Holocaust Museum in Washington. Before we entered the museum, some of the kids were acting up, and just as I expected. You know, they were indifferent, they didn't care, it didn't matter to them. But as we left the museum, every one of those 50 students was emotionally affected. Tears were in their eyes, and even the largest, most inappropriate kid was silent. I want to share that as a congregation, UBS will be embarking on some of these endeavors. We'll be partnering with Congregation Agudas Achim in Taunton to show solidarity after their temple was the victim of anti-Semitism. I've spoken to their rabbi, and they are very grateful and excited to have our support and friendship. We were also contacted by a consortium of 4 churches in Warren. The town of Warren has 4 churches that come together each year, and they have a joint service for peace. Usually it's in January, they said, but this year they're doing it in August. And they asked us to be a participant in this service. Interestingly, this would be a lay-led service, and they would like someone from our congregation to come and read a prayer for peace. If you're interested, please let me know. And if you don't want to read, then your mere presence at that service is just as important. It'll be on Sunday, August 4th at Colt State Park. Hopefully, the religious communities of Warren, Bristol, and Barrington will be able to stand as one, promoting peace for everyone. I'll send out the details, so watch your email. 2 weeks ago, I participated in the annual Bristol 4th of July Interfaith Worship Service. It was nice to team up with my clergy colleagues from different houses of worship in town. We have promised to continue working together to promote our similarities. We are all people, and we can believe in different things and still be a loving community. In the future, my plan is to do a citywide interfaith commemoration of Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day. And lastly, I want to share with you an incident that happened to me last week. My wife and I were shopping at the Rhode Island Antique Marketplace in Pawtucket. We were browsing at the hundreds of vendors that display their stuff. They're behind cabinets, they're out in the open. And one booth caught my eye rather quickly. It was displaying a set of Christmas ornaments, which is okay, but each ornament had a swastika on it. And on the tree topper, it was a glass tree topper with a big swastika on it. And each glass ornament was wrapped up in a page of Nazi newspaper. I was shocked. I wasn't sure if I was shocked over the item itself or the fact that they were selling it for $1,200. How could the owner of the shop think this was okay? So I asked him. I went up to him and said, "Why are you selling this product?" And the first thing he said to me was that he was Jewish and his family comes from a very religious background. He was trying to defend himself as being Jewish was a way of excusing it. You know, like I'm Jewish, I can tell a Jewish joke, that kind of thing. Then his wife joined the conversation and went on to explain that it was their opinion that history should not be censored. They wanted people to see it and feel uncomfortable. They wanted people to learn from it. So in my humble opinion, if that was their true intent, the item could have been donated to a museum so they could be properly displayed and in the correct context. Unfortunately, that ridiculous price tag made me believe that making a profit was more important than the educational value. Unfortunately, according to the Attorney General's office, there's nothing that can be done about it. Living in freedom sometimes has its downside. Nonetheless, that incident was the perfect fit to what I was going to talk about tonight. We have a lot of work to do in our effort to end hatred of all types. We need to be vigilant and not be afraid to call it what it is. I look forward to hearing some of your thoughts on this topic. If you have any ideas or activities for our congregation that we can do, please let me know. As the only synagogue in town, it's up to us. Shabbat Shalom. We begin our concluding prayers on page 586 as we rise for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach le'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. Tonight, during the 30 days of Shloshim, we remember Elliot Katz. We also remember those who have died at this time and are commemorating yahrzeits this evening. Haskell Benjamin, father of Joseph Benjamin. Jacob Benjamin, grandfather of Louis Gold. Daniel Berg. Leslie Blackman. William Barney Brody. E. Leonard Hassett. Martha Blackman Dobrain. Seymour DeWertz. Lester Eisenstadt. Jerome Feinstein, father of Jonathan Feinstein. Ida Hazen Goldenberg. Sammy P. Gold, father of Louis Gold. Muriel Grossman Hazen. Miriam Leah Hoffman, mother of Deborah Darkow. Martin Kahn. Elmer Lappin, father of Rosalind Guarnieri. Sidney J. Lipman. Robert Martyr. Ralph P. Merman, father of Carol Feinstein. Sam Pyrus, husband of Pat Pyrus. Bessie Rosenzweig. Helen Benjamin Toro, great aunt of Sharon Furman. Esther Tavin, Ruth Toroff, mother of Eleanor Radin, Dr. Michael Sheff, Sylvia Gluck, my grandmother, Paul Gluck, my uncle, Caroline Lewis Levinson, mother of Larry Levinson. If there's any other names you'd like to add to our list tonight, I invite you to share them with us now.
Teresa Timmons.
Zichronon Livracha, may their memories be a blessing to you, to your families, and to all humanity. As we rise on page 598, and we recite the Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'yalma, Divra, V'yuteh, V'yamlik, Malchuteh, V'chayechon, U'vyumechon, U'chayeh, V'kol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, U'vizman Karir, V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Le'alam U'lalmei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yitalev, V'yithalal, Shemei Dekucha Berichu, Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tush b'chata v'nechemata, Ta'amiran b'yalma v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya, V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens, let peace descend on us and on all of Israel, and let us say, Amen. We sanctify this holy night with the Kiddush found on page 122. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון, Hinkaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. I'll take it back. How's that? You don't have to hold it for the rest of the night. You may be seated. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight, praying with us, especially those out there in live stream land. High holidays are coming up. 8 weeks. 2 months from tomorrow is Rosh Hashanah. So He dropped his book at that.
He was so excited.
Anybody who wants to participate in services on Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur, please let me know. There's always something for you to do. Torah readers. We already have our resident shofar blower. And over the next 2 months, we will prepare ourselves to get ready for those days of awe. So, Shabbat Shalom. I will see you downstairs for our Oneg. Shabbat Shalom.
It's awful light, man, the Shabbos.